Episode 18, Trev TV. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching in, it's too sweet. Anyway, so, as the title says, we're celebrating a milestone. It's been 1 year to the day, May 19th, that Trev TV came out of inactivity. For 5 years, for the last 5 years, Trev wasn't making any videos of any kind. And that was essentially the end of version 2 of Trev TV. I counted in 3 versions, obviously. The first version sucked. The second version was okay. Third version, hey, third time's the charm, right? And that was a nice long break. I mean, granted, even I didn't know, and I still don't know, if I was making videos then, in that between that 5-year gap, how well they would have done. So maybe that 5-year break was done not really knowing out of necessity. So it's never a bad thing, but let's talk about it. So what brought back said return? You may ask. Well, you may, and I may answer. In the mind, Trev's creative mind, if you will, Trev was wondering if he could still do a vlog, or even still just talk random stuff, and not feel the internal pressure to be consistent. Now, I know internal pressure is always just in the eye and in the mind of the beholder. With version 2, it felt like work, and I said that time and time again. And it's true, it did feel like work. So I needed the break. So before we got active again, probably I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before the pilot episode was made, the itch came back. The curiosity of, can I do it? Do I want to do it? It was all there. And I mean, there was really nothing for me to base any kind of example on how to do things. I just kind of went into it with how I did it before, minus script. Version 1 was script, all script. I sat down for a week writing out a script on what I thought would be entertaining, how to add this and that and the other, and I even did shoots then. If you know what a shoot is, then you know what I mean. And to me, like I said, that felt like work. So the curiosity, and I just needed something to do to pass the time before I got married. It was, I want to say, 2-3 weeks before I got married, and everything we had planned, everything we needed to do was pretty much done. There was a couple last minute things that happened, beyond mine and Melissa's control, that kind of came along. Might have put a little bump in the road, but again, I just needed to pass the time. So aside from that, the curiosity of, could Trev still do it? And truthfully, that's all Trev TV ever started out as, was a vlog. And it was just something that, I just wanted to spew out my thoughts, my ideas, what was on my mind at that time. And aside from that, version 2 brought out the Trev TV, or the Trev's Trade Show, Trev's Trade Page playlist. And that was essentially my second, maybe even third platform for the trade page, because there was the page itself, which I used on different sports card trading forums. Occasionally I'd do in-person tradings, and I'd say, hey, here's what I got. If they didn't want to browse through my box of traders, they could browse on the website, be like, oh, hey, pull this out. There was YouTube, which had my collections, if you want to. I think a lot of my collections from the trade page era are still there. I'm pretty sure they are. I didn't erase them. And there was a Trev's Trade page on Facebook, which is kind of inactive now because I've been inactive on online trading for about 3 years now. But at the time, the trade page was doing really, really, really good. And at that time, the trade page was built from scratch again. I think that was the 3rd time I had to rebuild it. But why keep the trade page videos and not any of the previous Trev TV videos? Well, for the same reason there are no videos left from the first Trev TV version. And that's timing. Version 1 and version 2 were done at different times. And Trev was a completely different Trev. If that answers any questions. I mean, it might not make a lot of sense to everybody else, but to me, it makes perfect sense. Version 1 was done at a time I just do not want to reflect on anymore, so why keep them? Version 2, it's not a time I don't care to reflect on, it's a time where it was a lot of flux and a lot of different things, and just I couldn't relate to the Trev then to the Trev now. There was just no comparison. Trev was a much different person. And it's not that it's a bad thing, but the Trev TV of old, yeah, it just wouldn't retain value to me. It might retain value to every other viewer that might have wanted to watch them, but looking at it now, yeah, I'm kind of rehashing old ideas from version 2. I won't rehash any version 1 ideas. No. I know it sounds complicated, but that's the best explanation I can give. I know in retrospect, I'd have to say that version 3 of Trev TV, hey, that rhymed. I'm going on a mad rhyming scheme in the last few videos here, is a much better version than version 1 or version 2 ever were. And I'm not saying that because it's in the now. I'm saying that because I genuinely feel version 3 of Trev TV is doing so much better. It's definitely seen more growth, not in terms of viewership or subscriptions. Well, actually, yeah, it has seen more growth in terms of subscribers, but I mean, 14 is... I know there are a lot of other YouTubers who have massively more subscribers than I do, and that's okay. I'd love to get more subscribers. Who wouldn't? But they'll come when they come. I'm not going to push, but I will always recommend at the end of the video, hey, there's a subscribe button over there. You know, hit it if you want. But also in terms of content. Version 1 was just Trev TV and that was it. Version 2 was Trev TV, Trev's Trade Page. Version 3, we've got how many different playlists now? We've got Trev TV. We've got Trev's Trade Page still. But now we've got Trev's Hockey Show. We've got Trev's Review Show, as well as the spin-off for that one, the Spartacus Review, as well as the spin-off that's going to come for that one, the Transformers Review, as well as the spin-off of the Rome Review, as well as the spin-off of the South Park Review. Those 3 are coming. They're in the pipe. You've got Trev's Collectibles. You've got Trev's Wrestling Show. So, Trev TV has grown from 1 playlist to 2 playlists to 10 playlists, which is great. It'll keep me busy. And as I said before, I don't feel the pressure to make content. I feel the desire, the want to make content now as opposed to back then. Of course, back then in version 2, not so much version 1, because version 1 was a lot of one takes. Version 2, you saw a lot of old Trev TV episodes filmed from Sunday to Sunday. I take a week to film an episode, and then on the last Sunday, crop it all together, edit it, put it all in a package that I could pump out to YouTube for mass consumption. And I mean, granted, like I said, I'm getting a lot more content views now than I ever did. And there are more playlists coming, aside from the 10 I've named. I've got a few ideas for a couple more. I'm not going to divulge too much into them right now, but you'll know them when you see them. And hopefully you'll enjoy them as well. But enough about the past. Let's worry about the now and the future. Seeing the future and it will be. Seeing the future and it works. Quick, name the artist, name the tune, name the album. I don't know if anybody can do that, but if you can, please write it in the comments below. I'd love to see if anybody else caught on to that. The future of Trev TV looks good. I think, anyway. As long as Trev can stay motivated, and with the way everything on this channel is flowing, I don't see why Trev can't do that. Like, this weekend, this is my, if you count episode 17, which, you know, I kind of technically did film on the weekend. This is my third video this weekend. And there's at least 2 more I want to do. Whether I do those 2 or not, I don't know. I know I'll at least do 1. And you'll see it. But as long as there are things that pique my interest, as long as there are things that there are to talk about, without having to divulge into politics and religion, because those are just things I don't want to touch. I mean, version 1 was a lot of politics, and it was more or less, back then I was more of a political person. I actually gave a damn about politics. Now, not so much. Politics just do not interest me anymore. They seem to interest everyone else, which I find weird. I mean, the time I was political, no one else, I couldn't have a conversation with anybody else as to the goings-on of the political world. Now that I'm not political, everybody else gives a damn. What the fuck? I don't get it. But it's not for me to get. I'm not here to wonder or to why. But as long as there are things that I would like to consider that would pique Trev's curiosity, there'll always be things for me to make. And that's a very exciting prospect. On top of, you know, having a whole bunch of review shows coming up. Oh my. 2 of those that I've mentioned are going to be very, very big. The goals of the channel really remain the same. You know, to make viable content, not just for me, but for you to watch, to listen to. If you're like me and you have to put in headphones to fall asleep, Trev does fall asleep to ASMR videos. As long as I have an audience that's willing to, even if you're only hooked for 5 minutes, as long as I've got that much of your time and you're willing to give that much of your attention to it, that's all I'll ever want to do. So far, we've made it to 83 videos, counting this one. And it's an exciting prospect for me to keep making more. As I said, my review shows will keep me busy. The hockey shows will always come along. I mean, the collectibles, not so much. Wrestling, maybe I should invest a little more time in, but given the stale product of what's on WWE now, I mean, AEW coming along interests me. Because it's not WWE. It's not something, hopefully, it's not something that's going to bore the fuck out of me. But either way, it'll always be a gooder. I mean, who knows? Maybe outside of the people who have already donated to my PayPal account, and I thank you very much for doing so, those contributions have gone to this channel. Maybe I'll be able to actually monetize videos and get paid for doing something like this. Because, you know, you gotta have goals, right? Either way, sky's the limit. The future works, and who knows, maybe Trev can actually make a career out of this. Who knows? Because you gotta have goals. And that was episode 18 of Trev TV. So, happy anniversary, Trev TV. Welcome back. We've made it a year. Who knows, maybe we'll be doing this same type of video in a year from now. Who knows? Why not? I mean, if that's a goal, then let's make the goal right now. Trev TV back here, talking about his 2-year return to YouTube. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, like, again, as long as the desire to do it is there, as long as the desire for viewers to watch what I do, to listen to what I do is there, I'll be here. But either way, I want to thank you for tuning in. Your viewership, as I've said a million times, or at least 83 times in the last year, has always meant so much to me. Always has, always will. I appreciate you. I really do. If you like this video, feel free to hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, hit the thumbs up anyway. You can never get enough thumbs up. And if you want to, as I mentioned earlier in this video, there's a little red button there that says subscribe. Hit it. And then you can stay up to date with all the content that Trev's going to put out. If you really want, you can find me on Facebook at Trev TV. If you want to go beyond that, you can find me on Instagram at rockstartrev TV. As I said, I've got at least one more video this weekend coming. Maybe 2, but 1 for sure. And this was the one that, if you'd been paying attention to the ending in the last few videos, this was the one that I had to make. There's no way I couldn't let the year go by without making a notice of it. So, having said all that, in the meantime, and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from the Trev. Later.